here. There's always a dog.
There's always a dog.
Right there.
We have extra dogs this time. We'll take a video and you can see them.
Yeah, we have a visitor, a guest staying with us for a couple weeks. Yeah. Sorry, I pushed you out of the frame a little. What? I'm tired.
We're both very tired.
Extra dogs is extra exhaustion. So, where did we leave off? We left off with our second frozen embryo transfer, which did not work.
It was a bust.
We are not pregnant. Another negative on that pregnancy. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Rosie, Fryer, quiet. They're not normally this well behaved. It's for the camera. Hey! Grumble Gus! Following our second negative pregnancy test, we had always planned, if it came back negative, if it came back negative, our plan was always to meet with our doctor again. So that's what we did. Right, so we had a phone call with our doctor, as it is termed in the TTC community, the what the F, I don't know, does YouTube get mad at us if we swear? What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Appointment, to talk about why we're not pregnant. And the answer was,
who the fuck knows?
He was basically like, what is it? You answered the phone. He was like, well, I'm disappointed.
And then he paused and he was like, but you're probably more disappointed.
I was like, I don't know that that's true, dude.
He just said based on everything, like, everything with my uterus looks great. Yeah. Everything with our embryos looked great. So the conclusion was that there must be something wrong with the protocol. And obviously, so we're changing our protocol, but he also said if that doesn't work, then we'll do some additional testing, like the ERA test.
Yeah. We kind of went into the phone call actually thinking that we would push for the ERA. So the ERA test, if you have never heard that acronym before, stands for endometrial receptivity analysis, I think. And it basically is just a little biopsy of your uterus, and it tests whether or not it's primed for implantation. So you usually put the embryo in 5 days after you start your progesterone, and the question that the ERA test measures is, do you need extra days of progesterone, or I think less commonly, do you need less progesterone?
Yeah, and he said he's not convinced that an extra day makes that much of a difference, but it's something that he kind of uses as a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
If there's no other reason it's not working.
It's based on, I mean, the test is based on the idea that there's a window of implantation. He says, you know, it's not that he doesn't, what did he say? He's like, I believe in the window of implantation. He said, I just don't know if 12 or 24 hours
makes big of a difference.
I know it's something that's worked for a lot of people. And I don't know that that's what our issue is. He also, because it's a fairly expensive test, it's not covered.
1,000, I think.
Yeah, he said around 1,000. Plus, you would also need to pay for the medication. And because our primary goal was to have Chelsea off the medication for a little bit, because her body reacts so strongly to it, that it just felt kind of counterproductive.
I can't get comfortable.
Well, this is the spot you chose.
Really no. Let's snuggle closer.
Snuggle on in. So we don't know if that's actually the issue for us. What we're gonna do. Let's stop talking about what we're not doing and talk about what we are doing. We're doing a different protocol. We, before the call for the doctor, really wanted to push for a natural cycle. And we didn't have to, because he thought that a natural cycle was kind of a really good way to go for us.
Because I reacted so poorly.
Yeah. He asked a lot of questions about how the cycle went from our perspective. Found out all the stuff about how Chelsea was reacting to the medication, which he knew because we've been talking to nurses, but I think when you list it all out and you're seeing that the cycle's not working, you're kind of thinking, okay, something's going on here. So we're going to do a natural cycle next.
Modified natural.
Modified natural. So in a true natural cycle, you're not taking any hormone supplementation. You're just letting your body ovulate naturally while you're monitoring it. And then a certain number of days after ovulation, you put the embryo in. and it's supposed to be more like natural, like conceiving naturally. The modified version that we will be doing is that when Chelsea's period comes, I think on day 3 you start letrozole, or I think it's also called Femera, and it just helps stimulate your ovaries. Mm-hmm. So it's an oral tab that you take 5 days. Mm-hmm. 5. And then that stimulates your ovaries, which makes your body produce a little bit more estrogen than it normally would. Thickens your uterine lining. You're monitoring it once the dominant follicle gets to a certain size. So it's kind of like close to ovulation, sort of like what was done in my stim cycle.
And very similar to what people do for IUI cycles as well.
Yeah. Then they give a trigger shot, and which induces ovulation. And then 7 days after the trigger shot is given, you do the day 5 embryo transfer. And then they'll do some sort of luteal phase supplementation, which will either be progesterone suppositories, or I think every 3 days you do an HCG injection shot.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know which of the two it will be. Okay. Who farted? Rosie? Fryer? We'll never know the culprit. It was likely for sure. Rosie. It was probably Rosie. She's right. She's right there.
Just a farty face.
So that is our plan next. Involves more monitoring in all likelihood, but we're at the satellite clinic right now, which is closer, so that's okay.
And we like them a lot. We are taking a cycle off.
Yes, that's the next thing. When are we doing this? Not right now. We're taking a cycle off. We need to be a couple for a little while.
I need to recover.
Chelsea's body needs to not be trying to get pregnant for a little while.
She's seeing a naturopath.
She's been on hormones for about 12 weeks straight, because each cycle takes about 6 weeks from period to starting birth control to negative beta test. And it's a lot. And we did them both back to back. You're off medication for like 5 days, your period came, and then you're back on birth control pills.
Yeah.
Really quickly. So it feels like a lot. That's what we're doing. Yes. And then he suggested going to see a naturopath.
Oh, I forgot to call her today.
Oops. Well, call and leave a message.
Okay.
And just sort of taking care of our body. What does it say? This is the month to be our best selves.
He was really alarmed that I had gained like 20 pounds. Because he's like, that's not supposed to happen. Because I was eating infinitely less than I should have been.
Yeah, I was like, it is not, because she is eating more.
No.
Like with increased appetite from this stuff. I was like,
it
that's
messed me up.
Case.
It messed me up.
So, which is, it's just not going to set, even if it did work, it's not setting you up for a healthy pregnancy. No. So it's all going to be good. I think we're already feeling better. I think you feel better off the hormones already.
I've been
even
more,
though it's only been a few days. You can
more
eat
positive
again.
And I can eat.
And you can go out and move your body and take walks and stuff and do things because
not
you're
be
not
afraid to pass
faint.
out.
So that's where we're at. We're gonna take a little break, but we're still gonna vlog.
Oh yeah.
And just do some really fun stuff that we couldn't do.
We're going to a theme park soon.
Yeah. We're gonna go to theme park.
Roller coasters.
Ride some roller coasters. Just gonna drag me on to all the big scary ones.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like roller coasters. It's just that if I've never been on the roller coaster before,
gets really anxious.
I get really nervous right before I ride. And I ride it. And I have a lot of fun. But I always have that moment where I'm in the line and I'm like, don't get on the roller coaster, Caitlin.
That's the best moment, pushing through it.
It's the worst, the literal worst. I should just be able to walk straight. The lines are the worst. Okay, you know what? I'm off topic. We're gonna go to a roller coaster. We're gonna check out wineries, check out breweries. We can't hike because of your foot, but just do really fun stuff. Pride Month is in 2 days.
Yay!
Yay!
We get our pride flag soon.
We're gonna get our pride flag up. And do lots of activities. Our city doesn't do it has a Pride Day.
It doesn't do a parade or anything.
Well, there's a march this year. But it doesn't do the big Pride parade. But so instead there's a series of small events throughout the city throughout the whole month. So you can kind of go to what suits your personality and your taste best, which I think is kind of fun. Yeah. And it's nice because there's a lot of alcohol-free alternative
Yeah,
activities.
we're not big on the boozy activities.
No, I'm not gonna. We've actually never been to a big city pride before because
it's not our scene. I'm almost 30, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm tired.
It just seems like a lot of work. See, I'm like a beer on a patio kind of gay, or like a coffee shop kind of gay. I'm just not a like drunk in the streets kind of gay.
Yeah.
But so it's nice to have different activities that appeal to different things about the community, and to have alcohol-free stuff for a community that's kind of like has a history with alcoholism.
Yeah,
is important. I'm off topic again.
Yes, you are.
We're gonna have fun while we are waiting to start our next cycle. Chelsea's cycles are long, so just so everyone knows, we're not gonna be starting our next cycle in
40 day cycle. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be like 6 weeks. So, keep your eye out. Sorry we get our videos up so much later talking about our cycles, but that's why you gotta follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Because you know what? When you find out you're not pregnant after trying to get pregnant, you don't want to make a video about how you're not pregnant. So you just quickly like tweet it out or post a picture on Instagram, and then that way people can find out without you. Like you need time to process it yourself first.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go out and garden.
Yeah, we're gonna take you with us. You know what you don't get a lot of is videos talking about the what the fuck appointment, and also including tips on growing potatoes.
Yeah,
this is a niche market on YouTube.
Very niche.
Gardeners who are trying to get pregnant.
God.
Is there anything else we want to say about the what the fuck appointment? Any advice we can give to people?
Advocate for yourselves.
Advocate for yourself. Plan your questions ahead of time with them written out ahead of time. What we know, we want to push a few things we were worried about how he would take it. We even like wrote out how we want to phrase certain things, or like you'd like kind of phrase them in your head ahead of time. Ask about all your options. Ask about everything. Ask about the embryos. Ask about the lining. Ask about the protocol.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you have a doctor that doesn't like you asking questions, they're maybe not the doctor for you.
Yeah. The appointment was helpful for us to get information. We decided what we're doing next, which is, I think, a big part of the what the fuck appointment for a lot of people is like, where do we go from here? But I think just having that information about how our cycles went was super important.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Advice. What you should do in your what the fuck appointment.
Okay.
All right. To the garden.
There's Murphy. Hi, Murph. Hey, buddy. These two are just being trouble.
As always.
Here's our garden. Here, I'll get out of the... There we go. This is the garden. Got a mixture of typical garden plants and vegetables. You can see the squash back there. Actually, it's zucchini. Mint, tomato, peppers. Got tomatoes up there. And the lettuce. And we're trying out a new thing and planting these pumpkins. They're little like pie pumpkins.
Never mind. Remember how I said I liked these?
They're hard to get out.
They're really hard to get out because you can't like crack. Oh, well now it's just dried.
She cracked it.
Don't know my own strength.
It's beautiful, sweetie. Did it?
I was like, they're so cool. They're so much thicker and more stable. No, they're just impossible to get your plant out of. Anyways, my goal. Did you just have that angled at my boobs?
No.
My goal is to grow my own jack-o'-lantern. But last year we failed epically. So we're going to try with the little sugar pumpkins. Make pie from them. And if we can perfect the pumpkin technique next year.
Next year.
I can grow a jack-o'-lantern.
This is a good use for this little puppy pool because God knows. Hey! Hey! Stop it! Dirty puppy!
Bring out the camera in there. I think it's trouble.
Yep. I said stop. Enough. Look at you, you're disgusting. So the way that we are growing potatoes,
there's a couple methods, but it's basically like you get something tall and you fill it with dirt. And you put a couple inches of dirt in, you plant your seeding potatoes, and then every time they sprout, you cover them up with more dirt. I swear we cannot cover these things with dirt fast enough. Like, they're just the fastest growing plants I've ever seen, which is fantastic. It's so funny to me. But it's a great method, so like, props. I fully recommend it. Hey, sweetie?
Yeah.
Yeah? You enjoying yourself?
I am, actually.
Oh, good. Oh, bird. Hi.
Nice to do. It's super comfy.
Hi, bird. Bird. Hi. What's up? Oh, hi. Oh. Oh. He can't decide where he wants to be.
Get it? Get it, bird.
So, pumpkin patch planted. Everything is fertilized. I finished my little rock path here. A little hard because it's not the best sunlight for you to see everything. And then these are going to be our teensy tiny little ponds. We still have to put some water plants in there. And that's that.
Another successful day gardening.
Woo!
I did very well.
You did great, babe. Oh, the bird's back. Let's end on the bird. There he is. Wow. Oh, God. Where did he go?